Hi guys, in today's video you will learn all about IOP and what an intensive outpatient program is like. You will learn how to support someone with mental illness and addiction issues in a crisis situation. You will learn about the hurdles in the US healthcare system for people with mental illness. You'll learn how to make a crisis video and all about medication. I took you guys with me. I filmed this video over Monday and Tuesday. A lot of stuff happened. Tiffany is in the video with me. This video is for loved ones and for individuals who might be suffering from a mental illness. I hope that you enjoy it. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so hi, it's me, Steph, if you are new here. I have bipolar disorder type 1 with psychotic features and mixed episodes. I got that diagnosis around 7 years ago, and so I lived a majority of my life not on medication, and I hurt my loved ones, and I was really confused, and it was years of psychosis, and so I have a lot of unique experiences and mostly not so unique experiences. So if you're interested in learning more about that, my channel is very personal. A lot of my, it's very personal, so if you like that kind of thing, subscribe. And to those of you that are subscribed, you know I love you guys. Look at this cat. Who sleeps cuter than this? Sweetie. Sweetie. It's Monday. I'm heading back home from group therapy. Started off irritated in the first group. Woke up really early in the morning last night. Was able to get back to sleep, but only for a little bit. So Jeff was worried again because my Aura ring says I only got 4.5 hours of sleep, which is understandable that he's worried. So there's that, and then the fact that I saw Tiffany and she confessed that she had relapsed yesterday. That is stressing me out. And so I was sitting in group and I was thinking to myself, holy cow, there are a lot of things that I'm stressed out about right now. Maybe I do need to really be here and work through some of this stuff. So I'm really happy that I started going back, but I immediately started off super annoyed because one, it's so difficult to have my dietary needs met there. Like, I just want a plant-based meal. It's not that hard. And what really irritated me the most was that when you go into group, the very first group is process group, and the very first thing that the counselor is supposed to do is supposed to go around the room and get everyone's color. So if you're green, you don't have any thoughts of harming yourself. If you're yellow, you're starting to have thoughts of, you're waking up feeling like you don't want to be here. Orange is a little more intense, and then is you're thinking about it but you don't have a plan, and then or orange is you're ready to have a plan. Anyways, there's a color scale. You're supposed to go around the room and ask everybody their color before you start processing with each person. And it makes sense because then if you go around the room and somebody is feeling like they want to hurt themselves, they're not going to have to sit through 45 minutes of other people talking before they get to talk about the pain that they're experiencing. So I tried to explain this to the counselor today, and she just did not want to hear it. And it pissed me off because it's idiotic to not be like, okay, everybody wants to process, let's just go around the room real quick and see where everybody's at with their colors. Period. So that pissed me off. I have no control over it. I sat in the groups. The groups were helpful. I'll have to tell you what they were about later. I saved my handouts. But little stuff like that just gets under my skin, and it's so annoying. Instead, she's going around the room asking everyone to process and then asking them their color after they've processed. So it's just really frustrating when people do stupid stuff and then they don't want to hear what you're trying to tell them, and especially when it has to do with a healthcare facility. This is my lovely salad. It has broccoli, cauliflower, pecans, cucumbers, and then I use this dressing, which has no dairy in it. They're so in love. They do this every single day, multiple times a day. I walked Sebastian and I came back and I did a Zoom video call for a YouTube video for another YouTuber named Jess from Our Bipolar. And so there's a link in the announcements about that. And we talked for a while, and that was good. It's always good to talk about mental illness. And I realized that I am doing things in my relationship that could possibly help other people. So we talk about that. I'm really upset about my neighbor feeling really hopeless and helpless, and feeling like somebody is about to destroy their life. And I'm like begging them not to, but I'm not going to be able to stop them from doing anything. So that's how I feel about that matter. So it's really sucked. So I went on when Jeff got home, we went on a walk with Sebastian, our evening walk, and I complained about all the things I was mad about at group, because the thing at group really pissed me off, because it is hard enough for us to get mental health care that is appropriate. And when our psychiatrists don't listen to us, when our therapists don't listen to us, that increases our symptoms, that increases the likelihood of us not getting better, of us not wanting to go to another psychiatrist. So when the counselor / psychologist at group today did not want to hear me and what I was saying, it was very frustrating and very triggering.
Frustration.
It's fear, because
expected.
Because I don't want you to fail. Like, you have so much on the line. So I am at Tiffany's. She is actually going to go to rehab, and we just had a conversation about the fact that I like bailed on her in like her worst moment when she really needed someone. I'm texting her, I'm never going to talk to you again unless you get help, because I don't know what else to do, and because that's what a lot of people say, oh, we have to wait for them to hit rock bottom, and I've never been a big believer of that. But then you get at a point in time where you just don't know what to do as a loved one, because it's so painful. So Tiffany's going back to rehab
Again.
We're going in a couple of hours as soon as she musters up the strength to go, but she has 3 hours to get there. I'm so proud of her. Seriously, like, it is so hard. Yeah, it's so hard.
But, being that I was so strong in the last 10 months, the 10 months that I had back in May.
Yeah.
I think that
you just need this
chance that this one's going to stick,
Yeah, you just need this little bump refresher.
Right.
Alrighty, so I just dropped Tiffany off at the rehab. I am so proud of her. I'm really happy that I didn't give up on her and cut her out of my life, because I think her having a ride to rehab and being able to have someone take her there makes a difference. And I think when you bail on people when they need you the most, it doesn't help. And a lot of people in treatment do say, well, I had to lose everything and everyone before I was going to get help. And maybe that's true for them, and maybe had they had a different experience, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is when you're trying to help someone who has an addiction. I don't know what the answer is when you're trying to help someone who is experiencing a mental health crisis. The only thing that I would say is that you can only do your best. So as long as you do your best, that's what you did. If doing your best is having to not necessarily give up on someone, but distance yourself from them, because that's the best you can do, because it starts affecting your mental health, and you become very, very sick from it, and you just can't deal with it. Then if that's your best, that's doing your best. If your best is sticking with someone and trying everything you can to get them to rehab and to get them help, and to understand, but with the caveat, you have to understand you can't make them get help. You can't control them. You cannot save them, you cannot fix them. All you can do is be a support person and be there as much as you can. Are my thoughts about it. But I'm really excited that she went. I'm so happy that she's here. I'm like worried to drive off because I'm still in the car outside, because I'm worried she's gonna like pop out and go around the corner and get a ride from someone, but that's not gonna happen. So I will see her in 30 days. So I'm driving home and Tiffany calls and says, "You're not gonna believe this." She says, "They told me over the phone they have a bed, but I got here and the person that was supposed to leave isn't leaving, and so there's no bed for me." And I'm like, "Are you kidding?" So she's like, "So can you come back and get me?" So it's the perfect example of being on government insurance, Medi-Cal. It's the services are the system is damaged and broken. That's the United States healthcare system for you. We could just be more like Canada. This is like totally crazy. So I drove Tiffany to a different rehab facility that she had also talked to on the phone. But she had forgotten her medication and left her medication at Sober Living, and they will not let her check in unless she has her medication. So I'm going to go get her medication for her later and bring it back to the rehab, should they let her in and give her a room. But it's just crazy. It's crazy that, because if you're trying to go to rehab, like once you decide to make the decision to go to rehab, it's an emergency. Like, you have to get to rehab. You can't be like, "I'm going to go to rehab tomorrow." Like, you have to go right then and there. It's an emergency. And like, if she had driven herself and gone over to the rehab facility, driven all the way over there and they tell her, "Sorry, we don't have a bed for you," she would have been frustrated as hell and been like, "Why am I even trying to go to rehab now?" So like, government insurance, like and the lack of health care, the lack of money allocated to government insurance for people that have low income or people that have disabilities, is so bad in the United States that people get hurt in so many different ways because either healthcare providers are not listening, there are not enough services. It's crazy. There's just not enough knowledge about it. It is like a nightmare even trying to get you to the hospital. So we need to pick up your meds tonight from Mandy, and you get your meds, and you need to really think about the fact that if you're not sleeping, you're putting your life at risk. It's not just about you, it's about everybody in your path as well. Right. It's about how you affect me, how you affect Jeff, how you affect the animals, how your babies, how you affect Angela, patterns, like all of these people. You got to step outside of it and be able to realize this is a physical health problem that I have. If I had cancer, I would not be refusing to go to chemo.
It's set for 9 o'clock, and I'm going to be here at 9 o'clock. Chest x-ray, medication in hand.
So the issue now is that Tiffany needs to get a chest x-ray.
So who knows where I was exposed to it.
She tested positive for TB
for the first time in my whole life.
Yeah, at the other rehab. And while it's dormant and she doesn't have any symptoms, it still is potentially... But if you had symptoms, then it would be contagious. But if you don't have symptoms, you're not contagious, right?
Right.
So now she needs to get a chest x-ray, which is another huge thing to have to do when you are trying to heal a substance abuse issue, a physical problem that affects your brain. You're going
Thursday, set in stone. I'm doing this no matter what. I mean, please don't think for 1 second that I'm going to back out.
No, I don't. I believe that you're gonna stick with this. I do.
I mean, you have no idea how many times I've flushed the shit down the toilet, not wanting to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And then end up picking it up later because I feel like I have to.
I just can't believe you. I just cannot believe you forgot your medication. Like, that's something you have to do that. Like me, I'm type 1 diabetes. If I don't get my insulin, I'm gonna die, because that's how it is with medication. Because once you hit psychosis, you are unreachable. Everyone is unreachable. Once they hit psychosis, they are unreachable. They are hearing voices or hallucinating or believing things that are not real about the world, making all these weird connections between things, you know, having delusions of paranoia. Completely unreachable. Just like, it's so that's the issue. So,
but they said if I can't go through my provider, because if I go through my main provider, then they're going to refer me, and that's going to be way out. Like, when they refer me to a specialist,
yeah,
it's like a month away. But so she said I could just go to the emergency room and say that I tested positive for TB. I just need to be cleared so I can check into an inpatient. And she said it should be simple.
Well, you should have Abilify in your system already. They should have given you a shot, is what they should have done. But you should have, because there's a shot for Abilify that lasts for 30 days.
I heard about that.
Yeah, for people who are maybe homeless or, you know, have a hard time taking their meds, they'll get the shot, or having a hard time remembering to take their meds, they'll get the shot. So it's something that they can give in a psychiatric hospital that can sometimes bring people back from psychosis. So yeah, but you have Abilify in your system, so you should be okay. But you know, if you're staying up and not sleeping, you're like walking on fire. Oh, I'm home now, Tiffany. Somebody said, I love the picture of you in the background with the Cheshire cat. That's not actually me. We went to down to Belmont Shores, which is an area in Long Beach by the beach, like touristy area. And there was a guy sitting out on the street selling all these paintings, and I fell in love with that one. So his name is Brian. I don't know what happened to him. Or some grapes. I'm having Trader Joe's cream cheese, which is the only good plant-based cream cheese I've ever had. Usually it's absolutely disgusting, but this one is really, really tasty. I snuck coffee at Tiffany's. I had bought a giant thing of cold brew and I gave it to her, and today I drank a bunch of it. But I did buy a thing of decaf. While I too have my own addiction that I'm battling, I bought a substitute. So decaf, good sweet snack. It's like all veggies, but it has all that stuff: kale, cucumber, spinach, mint, celery, apple, parsley, and it's really, really, really tasty. Went home. I tried to record an original song, and I think I'm happy with the recording, but I'm gonna try and record it a few more times tonight. So I'm pretty excited about that. Plus I have this video and I don't have group tomorrow, so I'm gonna be able to sit and edit this video. And then on Thursday I'll go back to group and then start again with where things are at. Well, I'm thinking with this new schedule thing that Jeff wanted me to do, because that would help him with making sure I'm on track with like how I'm feeling with my mood and you know, sleeping, and he would feel better if I had a schedule. So now that I have a schedule, I'm being able to get more done, I think. And I'm sticking to meditation. Meditation has really changed my life. I have so much faith in it, and I know that if I just continue to meditate, I will be able to get whatever I want. And I'm going to continue meditating so that I can do that and continue to meditate on world peace and peace in the Middle East and peace in Russia and peace everywhere. Let me know what you guys think of this video in the comments. And if you like the new format, let me know. If you can relate, let me know. The comments section is all about you guys, for you guys. It's to have a community so we can all support each other. I'm such a messy cook. Got some corn. Oh, I got salad again. This one has heat peanuts, raisins, tomatoes, green onions, broccoli, cauliflower, and I'm using this dressing. So it's, what is it, Tuesday still? It's still Tuesday. Still Tuesday, and Tiffany and I are going to her sober living to get her medication. And we talked about something that you have to do when you have some kind of mental illness that could potentially go to experiencing symptoms of psychosis. And that is to film a video to yourself that if you start experiencing things like hearing voices or, delusions, if you start being delusional, you have this recording to say, I, Tiffany,
know that this is not real.
Yes, this is real right now.
This is real.
Yes.
But the delusions are not.
Yes, the hearing voices, that stuff is not real.
Right.
So then if you start going into psychosis, I can show you this video and you will believe yourself.
Well, I have to trust myself.
Yes.
If I can't trust myself, who else can I trust? Well, I can trust you.
Right.
I can trust you.
I know, but you don't even trust me when you're like that. You flipped on me, remember? Yeah. So, and I don't want to have you going into psychosis and showing up at my door, demanding your car key, wanting to go somewhere, because I'm not going to give it to you.
I don't need to go anywhere.
Okay. Just a little snacky snack. I ate it all. Having some of this at like 9:42 at night. I shouldn't be doing that.